Okay, so we're in the D cage here. Got a D shaped 5 root 3 right here. The second's going to be E minor shaped. Okay, but if we just add that 7 in, this is easy now. We get the 7 half diminished there. And we get 2, 6, 4, 7. 2 is open. 2 is open. This is the easiest. It doesn't get any easier than this. Okay, so if we wanted the 6, we could drop that down. But then where's our 7? See, now we don't have a well-defined. We have more like a D minor 6 chord in the key of C. So we want to hit this for sure. So instead of going to this, we essentially just added this. Actually, we didn't though. Okay, my bad there. But it appeared as if we just took the D shape, but we're not going to go to a D major 7 because we're not going to play the 3. We don't want the 3. We don't want the 5, and I'm going to show you how that works. Good thing we kind of stumbled onto it, so we need to get onto it. So, like a windshield wiper goes from one side to the other. Now we're going to start this side and go back. So we're going to start D and go back to C. Let's look. Like I say, it's not an easy topic, but did you notice how easy it was to play that chord? To play that E minor shape, to modify that E minor Dorian in the D box to a half diminished. So let's look over here now. Now A is the 5th of D. Okay, so you go ahead in the word caged. Caged D goes to C. Skip C and go to A. That's how you get to the 5th in the cage word, going around the circle. So here we're gonna take 5 and go to 6, or it can go to 4, as long as it's not 5. And that's what I was talking about. Don't play the 5, don't play the 3. So those are blackened out right here. So essentially, the way, easy way. This is the other method. An easy way to find the half diminished is, okay, we start, as you know, D, G, and A are 1, 4, 5 shapes. Okay, so we got D, G, A. Remember that 5th shape, you can play its dominant 7th, because that's what 5/7 is. Now, what we're going to do is modify it. We're not going to play the 5th of the 3rd in that 7th shape, but we're going to play that 7th. Okay, so that's the trick. It's a mixolydian. So we're going to play the 7th, but we're not playing the 3rd, the 5th. Now in the 5th mode, 5, 7, 2, 4, we're not playing the root from the get-go. We're not playing the 3rd from the get-go. Get-go. Okay. Root 3, 5. Okay, 4, 6, root. We're playing the root again, right? We are playing the root again. We should be playing the root in the 4th. 4, 6, root. Right here is your root. Open string. And then you can always do a robust 4th, which is a robust G shape. Notice that the C shape has a nice robust if you add the 5th. The G shape has a robust if you add the 4th of G. In this case, the 4th of the 5th is the root. Okay, so we're already not playing the root in the third as if we're playing Mixolydian. Okay, now we have to lose the fifth, and that's all we have to do to get 7-2-4, because remember, the fifth major dominant mode, in this case the E box, is the A shape. So it's like this. Is 5-7-2-4. All we got to do is lose that fifth. Well, we've already lost it by lifting my finger off of the fifth, like that. Now let's see what other fifths. We don't want to play this fifth. We don't want to play that fifth either. So we simply have to select the sixth there, because remember, we can take the sixth or the fourth. And what do we got? Is that nice? How nice is that? Okay, so we started out here. We're going to lose the fifth here. Okay, so remember, the fifth shape is A shape, so it's going to be 2, 5, 7. So all we have to do is drop that 5 to the 4. These numbers are in the root numbering system. They're relative to the root. So the 5 is the local root of the Mixolydian. Okay, so we're going to drop that 5 to a 4. So we're essentially playing the A shape as the fifth. So we would normally want to do this. But usually you do this, like, so you go like. But if we want that half-diminished sound, first thing we got to do is lose this fifth. Second thing we have to do is lose the other fifth. Now it's taking on that half-diminished sound. 2, 6, 2, 4, 7, and then we're up here with the 2 here. Okay, so that's the name of that tune. It's like 2 would be probably that real low tone. 2, 6, 2, 4, 7, 4. So we've kind of like outlined that in the D box there. Let's see if we can use the same trick on the E box. And we know this is the E box. You look at the bottom string shape. So we're in the E box there. The fifth of the E box, the fifth of the E shape is the C shape. Why? Because you go ahead and cage C-A-G-E-D, E goes to skip the D and start C again. The fifth of the E shape is the C shape there. But maybe we're not going to do the C shape because we go to that C shape 5 right there. See, look at 5 root 3 in the C box. So let's get the cable back up to where we should be. So let's look at an E shape. Okay, so if we're on an E shape, I could do it really from my open strings here. Here's an E shape C, open strings. Okay, and then just take it down because it's in P4. Now you're hearing this fourth string, but if it's just the 3, there's its fifth. So the bottom of a C shape is the fifth of, a C shape is the fifth of the E shape. We've got 5-2, but we're going to move that C up 1 in cage and do the A shape. Okay. So as the fifth, we've got the A shape 2, 5, 7 up here. What do we want to do? We want to lose this 5 and go to this 4. Alright, so it ends up looking like this. We're going to actually just do what we just did in the A shape and go 2, 6, 4, 2, 6, 2, 4, 7, 2. So all I'm really putting fingers on is 6, 2, 7.